Hey story lovers, welcome to Untold Yet True. Tonight's tale is one you'll feel where love meets heartbreak, and truth hits harder than fiction. If this story moves you, like, share, and subscribe, because every untold story deserves to be heard. The collision rain hammered the penthouse windows like accusations. Damian Cross stood frozen in his corner office, watching Manhattan blur through the glass. At 32, he owned half the city, but the view felt like staring into an empty grave. His phone buzzed. Another deal. Another hollow victory. 20 floors below, Dr. Maya Rodriguez pressed her forehead against cold marble, scrubbed still damp with a child's blood. Her third loss this month, a 6-year-old with her dead brother's eyes, the ghost that haunted every corridor. Her hands trembled under the bathroom faucet. 5 years of medical school, 3 years of residency. Still drowning, her mother's cancer bills had swallowed her whole, and every breath felt stolen. The pager screamed. Emergency room. She ran through the hallways, sneakers squeaking, vision blurring from exhaustion. Then she collided with something solid and unyielding. Medical charts scattered like dead leaves. She bounced backward. "Watch where you're going," she snapped, gathering papers with shaking fingers. A scarred hand appeared in her vision. Elegant. Dangerous. She looked up into eyes the color of winter storms. A man in a suit worth more than her monthly salary. Dark hair disheveled. Jaw clenched like he was fighting his own war. "You're bleeding," he said, voice rough with something unidentifiable. Maya touched her forehead. Fingers came away crimson. The collision had reopened a cut from earlier, when she'd thrown herself against a wall after losing the child. It's nothing. But Damian Cross had built his fortune reading people, seeing through masks, and this woman, with fierce brown eyes and defensive armor, was hiding pain so deep it made his own scars ache. "Nothing doesn't bleed that much. I'm calling someone." "Don't." The word sliced through the air. "I can't afford another medical bill." Something flickered across his face. Understanding. Recognition. "Then let me help." Maya laughed without humor. "Right. Some stranger in an expensive suit wants to help the broke resident." "What's the catch?" Damian studied her face, seeing himself reflected in her suspicion. Everyone wanted something. Everyone had an angle. But looking at her now, blood trickling down her temple, pride blazing in her eyes, he felt something shift inside his chest, something he'd thought dead for years. No catch. Just someone who knows what it's like to have nowhere else to turn. The lights above them flickered, casting strange shadows. In the distance, sirens wailed like ghosts calling the living home. Maya stared at this stranger who somehow saw through her armor. She felt the ground beneath her feet begin to crumble. She had spent years building walls to keep the world out, to keep herself safe. But there was something in his eyes that terrified her more than any diagnosis she'd ever delivered. It was hope. "Who are you?" she whispered. Damian Cross smiled. "Beautiful and broken and full of secrets that could destroy them both. Someone who's about to change your life." The offer. 3 days later, Maya stood outside the most exclusive medical practice in Manhattan. Her coffee-stained scrubs stark against gleaming glass and steel that reached toward heaven. The business card in her hand felt like a weapon. Cross Medical Foundation. Private practice. Ask for Dr. Helena Manning. She had tried to forget the stranger in the hospital corridor. Tried to convince herself his offer was another cruel joke. But her mother's latest scan showed the cancer spreading. The hospital threatened to garnish her wages. She'd chosen between rent and groceries again. His words echoed like a prayer. Someone who's about to change your life. The receptionist barely glanced up from her computer. "Can I help you?" "I'm here to see Dr. Manning about the position." The woman's eyes traveled over Maya's appearance with unconcealed disdain. "I'm sorry, but there must be some mistake. We don't have any openings for—" "She's with me." Maya turned to find Damian Cross emerging from the elevator, his presence commanding immediate attention. Gone was the disheveled man from the hospital. This version was polished, powerful, utterly terrifying in his confidence. "Mr. Cross," the receptionist stammered, transforming instantly. "I didn't realize—" "Dr. Rodriguez," he said, ignoring the woman entirely, eyes fixed on Maya with an intensity that made her pulse quicken. "Right on time." He guided her into the elevator with a hand that barely touched her lower back, yet she felt it like electricity through her entire body. The doors closed, trapping them in golden silence. "You came," he said, I didn't have a choice. Everyone has choices. You made the brave one. The elevator climbed. Maya's stomach dropped. What do you want from me? Damian turned to face her fully. In the harsh light, she could see the shadows under his eyes, the way his jaw worked like he was chewing glass. I want you to save someone. I'm a resident, not a miracle worker, my sister. The words came out raw, broken. She's dying. Stage 4 leukemia. The best doctors in the world have given up. But I read your research paper on experimental stem cell treatments. The one your hospital rejected, Maya's breath caught. That paper had been her obsession for 2 years. The treatment that could revolutionize cancer care. The dream her superiors had crushed. Because it was too risky, too experimental, too expensive. That research was theoretical, untested on humans, then tested on Sophia. I could kill her. She's already dying. His voice cracked. At least give her a chance to fight. The elevator doors opened onto a floor that looked nothing like a hospital, more like a palace. Marble floors, silk wallpaper, art that cost more than medical equipment. A young woman sat by the window, sunlight painting her fragile frame. She couldn't have been more than 23. Beautiful in the way dying things are beautiful, temporary, precious, fading. She turned, and Maya saw Damian's eyes looking back at her. You must be the doctor my brother won't stop talking about, Sophia said, her voice soft but sharp. The one who's supposed to work miracles. I don't believe in miracles. Good. Neither do I. Sophia smiled. But I believe in science, and second chances, and my brother's instincts. Maya looked between them. Brother and sister, both carrying death in their eyes, both pretending to be braver than they were. If I do this, Maya said slowly, if I agree to try, I need full autonomy, no interference, access to any equipment I need, and complete honesty about everything. Damian's expression shifted. Something flickered behind his storm gray eyes. Guilt, fear, secrets. Of course. I mean it. No lies, no games. If we're going to do this, I need to trust you. He stepped closer, close enough that she could smell his cologne, cedar and smoke and something darker. Trust is earned, Dr. Rodriguez, not given. Then start earning it. Why me, really? You could hire anyone. Why track down a broke resident with a rejected research paper? Damian held her gaze. The air between them crackled with tension. Because you know what it's like to watch someone you love die slowly. I saw it in your eyes that night. The same look I see in the mirror every morning. Desperation, rage, the refusal to accept defeat. He paused. And because you're the only person I've met who might actually care enough to succeed. Sophia coughed. A wet, rattling sound that made Maya's medical instincts flare. How long has she been coughing like that? 2 days, Damian admitted. That's a lung infection. Possibly pneumonia. In her condition, I know. His voice went hollow. We're running out of time. Maya looked at Sophia, at this girl who was someone's sister, someone's reason to believe in impossible things. She thought of her own brother, the one she couldn't save, the ghost that followed her through hospital corridors. Maybe this was her second chance. Maybe this was redemption. Or maybe this was the beginning of her destruction. I'll need to start immediately, Maya heard herself say. Tonight. And I'll need her full medical history. Everything. No omissions. Damian's relief was visible, palpable. He reached out, took her hand. Thank you. But as Sophia smiled weakly from her chair, as Damian's grip tightened on Maya's hand, the door to the office opened. A woman entered, mid-40s, expensive clothes. Cold eyes. Damian, darling, she purred. I see you've hired another doctor. How many does this make? 5? 6? She turned to Maya. I hope you last longer than the others. The temperature in the room dropped. Get out, Victoria, Damian said quietly. But we had dinner plans. To discuss the merger, unless you've forgotten about your obligations to Cross Pharmaceuticals. Maya's blood went cold. Cross Pharmaceuticals? The company that just killed the FDA approval for experimental stem cell treatments? Damian's face went blank. Carefully blank. Maya. You're the CEO. Her voice sounded distant, unfamiliar. You're the one who buried my research. who made sure no hospital would touch it. You destroyed my career. It's not what you think. Then what is it? She stepped back, pulling her hand from his. Tell me right now. Complete honesty. Why did Cross Pharmaceuticals kill stem cell research? Damian looked at his sister, at Victoria smirking in the doorway, at Maya, whose trust he'd just shattered. Because, he said slowly, each word costing him something vital. The treatment threatens our most profitable drug line. The cancer medications keeping this company worth billions. If your research succeeds, it destroys everything I've built. The silence was deafening. Maya stared at him, this man who'd promised to change her life. This beautiful, broken liar. So you buried me. And now you want me to save your sister using the same research you killed? Yes. The raw honesty of it was somehow worse than a lie. Sophia spoke up, her voice weak but fierce. Maya, please. I know how this looks. But my brother— Your brother, Maya interrupted, is using me. Using my desperation, my debt, my guilt. He's not a savior. He's a predator. She turned to leave. Damian caught her arm. You're right, he said. About all of it. I am using you. I did destroy your career. I am a predator. His grip tightened. But my sister is dying, and you're the only person who can save her. So name your price. Anything. Everything. It's yours. Maya looked into his eyes and saw the truth there. The desperation that matched her own. The willingness to burn the world down for the people they loved. She thought of her mother. The medical bills. The impossible choices. She thought of her brother. The one she couldn't save. She thought of the research. The dream they'd killed. $1 million, she said. Paid up front. Full legal protection. And when this is over, you give me the rights to my research. You let me publish. You help me get it approved. Done. And one more thing. Anything. Maya stepped closer, until they were inches apart, until she could see the cracks in his armor. When this is over, when your sister is healthy or dead or somewhere in between, you never contact me again. Because I might save her, Damian, but I will never forgive you. Something broke behind his eyes. Something that might have been hope. Done, he whispered. Victoria laughed from the doorway. How touching. The saint and the sinner. This should be entertaining to watch. But Maya wasn't looking at Victoria. She was looking at Sophia, at this dying girl who'd become her salvation and her damnation in the same breath. I start tomorrow, Maya said. Midnight. Bring her to my apartment. And bring the money. She walked past Damian, past Victoria into the elevator. The doors closed on his face, on the man who'd destroyed her, and offered to rebuild her in the same conversation. As the elevator descended, Maya pressed her forehead against the cold metal wall and wondered what she'd just agreed to. Redemption. Or destruction. Maybe both. The treatment midnight arrived like a threat. Maya's apartment was small, cluttered with medical textbooks and unpaid bills. She'd cleared the dining table, sterilized every surface, laid out equipment she'd borrowed from the hospital. Borrowed, not stolen. She told herself that mattered. The knock came at 12:03. Damian carried his sister through the door like she weighed nothing. Sophia's skin had a gray tinge that made Maya's chest tighten. 48 hours since their meeting. The infection was winning. Put her on the table. He laid Sophia down with a gentleness that contradicted everything Maya knew about him. The monster who'd buried her research. The brother willing to burn his empire for family. You should leave, Maya said, pulling on gloves. I'm staying. I can't work with you watching. Then you'll have to learn. Their eyes locked, a battle of wills neither could afford to lose. Sophia coughed, breaking the standoff. Both of you, stop. Damian, sit in the corner and be quiet. Maya, save my life, please. Maya started an IV line. Antibiotics first. Stabilize the infection before attempting anything experimental. Her hands moved with practiced precision, muscle memory taking over where fear tried to paralyze her. Tell me about your brother, Maya said, checking Sophia's vitals. The one you lost. Sophia's eyes flickered to Damian. He told you? No, I can see it. The way you both carry ghosts. Silence filled the cramped apartment. Then Sophia spoke, her voice barely above a whisper. His name was Marcus, 11 years old. hit by a drunk driver while Damian was supposed to be watching him. She paused, struggling for breath. Our parents blamed Damian, said he was too busy with his first business deal to pay attention. They never forgave him, never spoke to him again after the funeral. Maya's hand stilled. She looked at Damian, sitting rigid in the corner, face carved from stone. He was making a phone call, Sophia continued. Just 2 minutes. But 2 minutes was enough. Marcus ran into the street chasing a ball. The driver didn't even brake. Sophia, Damian said quietly. She doesn't need to hear this. Yes, she does. She thinks you're a monster. She should know you're just a man trying to make up for something that was never your fault. Maya resumed her work, but something had shifted. The man in the corner was no longer just her enemy. He was human, broken, haunted by the same ghosts that kept her awake at night. How old were you? Maya asked him. 19. His voice was hollow. I built Cross Pharmaceuticals with Marcus's life insurance money. Blood money. Everything I've done since has been trying to honor him, to save other people's brothers, sisters, to matter. By killing experimental treatments that could save lives. By keeping a company profitable enough to fund research that actually works. Your stem cell treatment was beautiful, Maya. Brilliant. But it was also one failed trial away from destroying decades of progress. One bad outcome, and the FDA shuts down the entire field. I couldn't risk it, so you played it safe. Let people die while you protected your profit margins. Yes, no defensiveness. No justification. Just raw honesty. I made the same choice I've been making since I was 19. Sacrifice the few to save the many. It's the calculus of survival. That's not survival. That's cowardice. Maybe, but my cowardice has funded 37 FDA-approved treatments, saved over 2 million lives. What has your bravery accomplished? The words hit like a physical blow. Maya's hands trembled as she prepared the first injection. The experimental serum. 2 years of research in a vial smaller than her thumb. This could kill her, Maya said, within minutes. Or it could trigger an immune response that takes weeks. There's no way to know. I trust you. You shouldn't, but I do. She looked at Sophia, at this girl who was barely older than her dead brother, at Damian, whose faith in her felt like a weight she couldn't carry. Last chance to back out, Maya said. Both of you. Do it, Sophia said. I'm tired of dying slowly. If I'm going out, I want to go out fighting. Maya injected the serum into Sophia's IV line, then waited. Seconds stretched into minutes. Her stethoscope pressed against Sophia's chest, monitoring every heartbeat. Nothing happened. Then Sophia gasped. Her back arched off the table. Eyes rolled back. Seizure, Maya snapped, moving on instinct. Damian, hold her steady. Don't let her bite her tongue. He was at the table in seconds, cradling his sister's head. Maya administered an anti-seizure medication, fingers flying across equipment. Come on, Maya whispered. Come on, fight. Sophia's body went rigid, then still. Too still. She's not breathing, Damian said, voice cracking. Maya, she's not breathing. CPR. Chest compressions. Rescue breaths. Maya's training took over, turning terror into action. 1, 2, 3, 4. Work, she commanded. Work, damn you. 15 compressions. 2 breaths. Repeat. Damian watched his sister die on a stranger's dining table, and the sound that came from him was inhuman. Grief-given voice. Don't stop, he begged. Please don't stop. 20 compressions. 2 breaths, Maya's arms burned. Her lungs screamed. She'd been here before, watching life slip away despite her best efforts. Failing the people who trusted her. I'm sorry, she gasped between compressions. I'm so sorry. No. Damian grabbed her shoulders, forced her to look at him. You don't give up. You don't stop fighting. That's not who you are. I can't save her? Yes, you can. You have to. Their faces were inches apart, both covered in sweat and tears and the weight of impossible choices. Then Sophia coughed, a wet, rattling, beautiful sound. Her eyes opened. Unfocused but alive, so beautifully alive. That was unpleasant, she rasped. Maya collapsed against the table, sobbing with relief. Damian pulled his sister into his arms, holding her like she might disappear. You're okay, he kept saying. You're okay, but Maya heard the truth in his voice. The terror that this was temporary. that they'd just bought time, not a cure. She checked Sophia's vitals. Pulse steady, breathing regular, temperature rising but controlled. The serum triggered an immune response, Maya said, forcing professionalism into her shaking voice. Her body fought it, hard, but if she survived the initial shock, there's a chance the treatment is working. How long until we know? 72 hours. If her white blood cell count improves, if the cancer markers decrease, we might have a chance. Damian helped his sister to the couch, wrapped her in blankets. She was already falling asleep, exhausted from the ordeal. He turned to Maya, and in his eyes, she saw something dangerous. Gratitude, respect, something that looked too much like hope. You saved her. I almost killed her. But you didn't. He stepped closer. You fought for her like she was your own sister. Like she mattered. Everyone matters. No. His hand reached up, brushed a strand of hair from her face. They don't, not to people like us. We've learned that the hard way, but you still fight like they do. That's rare. The apartment door burst open. Victoria stood in the doorway, flanked by 2 men in suits. Behind her, Maya saw police officers. Dr. Rodriguez, Victoria said, her smile sharp as broken glass. You're under arrest for practicing medicine without a license. For endangering a patient. For stealing hospital equipment. Maya's blood turned to ice. What? Did you really think no one would notice the missing supplies? The equipment you borrowed? Victoria's eyes glittered with malice. I made sure they noticed. Made sure they connected the dots. Damian moved between Victoria and Maya. You called the police? I called our lawyers. Who called the police? This little experiment of yours threatens everything, Damian. The board is already questioning your judgment. Your sister's illness has made you weak. Desperate. Victoria's gaze slid to Maya. And desperate men make stupid choices. Get out. No. See, here's what's going to happen. Dr. Rodriguez is going to be arrested. Sophia is going to a real hospital. And you're going to remember why we bury experimental treatments. Because they don't work. They just create liability. One of the officers stepped forward, handcuffs ready. Ma'am, you need to come with us. Maya looked at Damian. At Sophia sleeping on the couch. At everything she'd just fought for crumbling. Don't, she said. Don't protect me. Your sister needs monitoring. The next 72 hours are critical. If she goes to a hospital, they'll stop the treatment. They'll pump her full of standard protocols that won't work. She'll die. I'm not letting them arrest you. You don't have a choice. But Damian's expression shifted, hardened into something terrifying. He turned to Victoria. You want to play games? Fine, let's play. Officer, I'm invoking executive privilege. Dr. Rodriguez is employed by Cross Medical Foundation under a private research contract. All equipment was purchased and authorized by me. You have no grounds for arrest. That's a lie, Victoria hissed. Prove it. While you're at it, explain to the board how you've been siphoning research funds into offshore accounts, how you've been selling company secrets to our competitors. Should I continue? Victoria's face went pale. You can't prove any of that. Try me. I've been watching you for months, Victoria. Waiting for you to make your move. You just did. The police officers looked between them, sensing the shift in power dynamics. We're going to need documentation, one said carefully. My lawyers will provide everything. In the morning. For now, I suggest you leave before this becomes a lawsuit for harassment and illegal entry. Victoria's mask cracked. You'll regret this, Damian. The board will never approve your sister's treatment. They'll remove you. Everything you've built. Means nothing if she dies. His voice went soft. Deadly. I learned that lesson when I was 19. When I chose business over family. Never again, he turned to Maya. Pack a bag. You're both coming with me. Somewhere safe. Somewhere they can't touch us while we finish this. Damian, you're throwing away your company. Your empire. I'm choosing what matters. Finally. He looked at his sleeping sister. I'm choosing family. I'm choosing the right thing, even if it costs everything. Victoria laughed. Cold and cruel. How noble. How stupid. You think love makes you strong? It makes you vulnerable. It makes you weak. And weakness gets punished in our world. She left, slamming the door behind her. The police followed, though Maya could feel their suspicion lingering. Damian started gathering Sophia's medical equipment. Maya stood frozen, watching him destroy his life for a treatment that might not work. "You can't do this," she said. "You can't sacrifice everything. Watch me. Why? Why risk it all for me? For her? For a treatment that might fail?" He stopped, looked at her with eyes that held too much pain to measure. "Because 15 years ago I chose wrong. I chose ambition over love, business over family, and my brother died because of it. Every day since, I've been trying to make up for that 2-minute phone call. That one wrong choice." He moved closer. "But tonight, watching you fight for Sophia, I realized something. Redemption isn't about building empires. It's about showing up, fighting for what matters, even when it's terrifying. This is insane. Probably. But I've been playing it safe my whole life. Building walls, protecting myself. Where has that gotten me? Alone in a penthouse, watching the world through glass." His hand found hers. "You said you'd never forgive me. I can live with that. But I can't live with not fighting for her, for you, for this chance to do something that actually matters." Maya looked at their joined hands, at this broken, beautiful man who was choosing to burn his empire for the slim chance of redemption. She thought of her own brother, her own ghosts, her own failures. "Where are we going?" "I have a place, upstate, off the grid. Fully equipped medical facility. We can finish the treatment there, away from Victoria, from the board, from everyone who wants this to fail." "And after? When this is over one way or another?" Damian's smile was sad, resigned. "Then you take your money, your research, your freedom, and I deal with the consequences." Sophia stirred on the couch, mumbling something in her sleep. "We need to move her carefully," Maya said, shifting into doctor mode. "The next transport could trigger another seizure. I'll carry her to the car. You grab what we need." As Damian lifted his sister, as Maya packed equipment with shaking hands, she felt the weight of the choice settling over her like a shroud. She was running, hiding, becoming complicit in something that looked too much like kidnapping. Professional suicide, legal nightmares. But Sophia was breathing, fighting, alive. And sometimes, survival required breaking every rule you ever believed in. "Ready?" Damian asked from the door. Maya took one last look at her apartment. Her old life, the safe, predictable existence she was about to abandon. "Ready." They walked into the night, 3 broken people carrying hope like a fragile, dangerous thing. Behind them, Victoria watched from across the street, phone pressed to her ear, smile sharp with promises of destruction. "They're running," she said softly. "Just like I knew they would. Send the team. It's time to end this." The betrayal. The safe house sat at the edge of a forest, hidden behind iron gates and years of carefully cultivated isolation. Dawn painted the windows gold as Maya checked Sophia's vitals for the 100th time. 48 hours since the injection. White blood cell count rising, cancer markers dropping. Her body was fighting back. "You should sleep," Damian said from the doorway, coffee in hand. "So should you." "Can't. Every time I close my eyes, I see her dying on your table. She didn't die. She almost did. Because of me. Because I dragged you both into this." Maya took the coffee from him, their fingers brushing. The touch sent electricity through her exhausted body. "Stop," she said. "Stop blaming yourself for things outside your control." "Is that advice you take yourself?" She thought of her brother, the accident she couldn't prevent, the guilt that had driven her into medicine, into debt, into this impossible situation. "No," she admitted, "but maybe we should both learn." They stood in silence, watching Sophia sleep. The monitors beeped steadily, a rhythm that sounded too much like hope. "Tell me about him," Damian said quietly. "Your brother." Maya's throat tightened. She rarely spoke about him. The pain was too fresh, even after 8 years. His name was Carlos. 16, diabetic. He went into ketoacidosis at a party, and I was too drunk to notice the warning signs until it was too late. The words felt like glass in her mouth. I was pre-med. I should have known, should have been watching. But I was too busy having fun, being normal, pretending I didn't have responsibilities. "How old were you?" 18, a freshman. It was my first college party. Damian's hand found hers in the dim light. "You were a kid. So were you." "When Marcus died, but we both carry it like it was murder. Maybe it was. Not legally, but morally, we were supposed to protect them. We failed. Or maybe, Maya said, turning to face him, we were just human, fallible, doing our best in impossible situations. His eyes searched hers. In the golden morning light, he looked younger, more vulnerable, like the boy who'd watched his brother die and spent 15 years trying to atone. I don't know how to stop carrying him, Damian whispered. Marcus, the weight of him. It's all I've ever known. I don't either. But maybe we don't have to carry them alone anymore. The space between them crackled with tension. With possibility, with the dangerous intimacy of shared wounds. Damian reached up, cupped her face. His thumb traced her cheekbone. You're remarkable, you know that? Brilliant, fierce, everything I'm not. You're running from your empire to save your sister. I'd call that fierce. I'm running because I'm terrified of losing her. That's not bravery. That's desperation. Then we're both desperate. Both terrified. Both trying to save people we couldn't save before. He leaned closer. His breath ghosted across her lips. Maya, Sophia's monitor spiked. Alarm screaming. Maya was at the bed instantly, checking vitals. Sophia's temperature had spiked to 104. Her breathing was shallow, rapid. Another infection, Maya said, preparing antibiotics. Her immune system is compromised from the treatment. We need to cool her down, fast. Damian grabbed ice packs from the medical freezer. Together, they worked in frantic synchronization. Ice packs around Sophia's neck, groin, armpits, IV antibiotics, constant monitoring. Come on, Soph, Damian murmured, holding his sister's hand. You've fought this far. Don't give up now. Hours passed. The fever broke slowly, reluctantly. Sophia's eyes fluttered open. Did I scare you? She rasped. Terrified us, Maya said, relief flooding through her. Good. You both look too comfortable. Thought I'd remind you that I'm still dying. You're not dying. You're fighting. Sophia's smile was weak but real. Same thing sometimes, a sound outside. Gravel crunching. Car engines. Damian moved to the window, body tensing. Someone's here. Victoria? Worse. The board. 3 black SUVs pulled up to the gate. Men in suits emerged, and at the center, Victoria, her smile visible even from a distance. We need to leave, Damian said. Now. Sophia can't be moved. Not in her condition. Then I'll deal with them. Buy you time. Damian, trust me. Please. He was out the door before Maya could stop him. She watched through the window as he approached the gate, as Victoria's smile widened, as the trap snapped shut. Dr. Rodriguez, a voice said behind her. Maya spun. A man stood in the doorway, tall, professional, holding a briefcase. Who are you? Marcus Chen, attorney for Cross Pharmaceuticals. I've been sent to make you an offer. I'm not interested. You should be. It's quite generous. He opened the briefcase. Documents, lots of them. $10 million, full rights to your research, protection from all legal consequences, a position at any hospital you choose. Maya's breath caught. Everything she'd ever wanted. Right there in black and white. What's the catch? You walk away. Right now, let Sophia Cross die naturally. Sign an NDA. Never speak of this treatment again. Room went cold. You want me to kill her? We want you to stop playing God. Experimental treatments are dangerous, unpredictable. If Sophia dies from your treatment, it sets back cancer research by decades. But if she dies from her disease, naturally, peacefully, no one gets hurt. Except Sophia. She was already dying. You can't save everyone, Dr. Rodriguez. Sometimes the kindest thing is to let go. Maya looked at Sophia, sleeping peacefully, her body fighting against impossible odds. Then out the window, where Damian stood surrounded by men who wanted to erase everything he'd sacrificed for. No, Maya said. Think carefully. This offer expires in 60 seconds. After that, we prosecute you, Damian, everyone involved. We have enough evidence to put you away for years. Medical malpractice, kidnapping, fraud. You're bluffing, am I? He pulled out his phone, showed her a video. Damian carrying Sophia from Maya's apartment. The angle made it look like an abduction. We have witnesses, documentation. Your career is over either way. But with our offer, at least you get paid for your trouble. Maya's hands shook. This was it. The choice that would define everything. $10 million. Her mother's medical bills paid. Her brother's memory honored with research that could save millions. Freedom from debt, from fear, from the crushing weight of impossible choices. All she had to do was walk away. Let Sophia die. Let Damian sacrifice mean nothing. 40 seconds, the lawyer said. Maya thought of her brother, of the guilt that had driven her into medicine, of every patient she'd lost, every life she couldn't save. She thought of Damian, choosing family over empire, choosing love over safety. She thought of who she wanted to be, not who desperation had made her. No, she said again, stronger this time. Get out! Dr. Rodriguez, I said get out. Take your blood money and your threats and leave. I'm saving this girl, and nothing you offer will change that. The lawyer's expression hardened. You're making a mistake, probably, but it's mine to make. He left, and Maya immediately moved to Sophia's side, checking equipment, preparing for the worst. Outside, she heard raised voices, Damian arguing, Victoria's sharp laughter. Then silence. The door opened. Damian walked in, face ashen. They're giving us 24 hours, he said, to surrender. After that, they're calling the FBI. For what? Kidnapping, medical fraud, corporate espionage. Victoria's been building a case for months. She knew I'd break eventually. She was just waiting for me to give her ammunition. So we run. Where? They'll find us. They have resources I can't match anymore. I signed away my emergency powers to the board as part of the negotiation. I'm CEO in name only now. Maya stared at him. You gave them your company. For 24 hours. For a chance to finish this. To save her. To not have failed another person I love. The word hung in the air between them. Love. He'd said it so casually, but Maya heard the weight beneath it. The lawyer offered me $10 million, she said quietly, to walk away. Let her die! Damian's eyes widened. What did you say? I said no. Maya, that's enough to save your mother. To clear your debts. To start over. I know. Then why? She moved closer, until they were inches apart. Because some things matter more than money, more than safety, more than the smart choice. Her hand found his chest, felt his heart racing beneath her palm. Because you chose to fight, even when it cost everything. And I'm tired of playing it safe while people die. You're insane, says the man who burned his empire for his sister. That's different. How? Because she's my family. My blood, my responsibility. But you owe us nothing. You should take the money and run. Maybe. But I'm not going to. Damian pulled her close, forehead resting against hers. Why? Tell me why you'd throw away everything for us. The honest answer terrified her, because somewhere in the chaos, she'd started to care. About Sophia, about him, about the broken, desperate family they'd become. Because, she whispered, I'm tired of carrying ghosts alone. He kissed her. Desperate, fierce, full of all the words they were too scared to say. Maya kissed him back, tasting coffee and fear, and something that felt dangerously like hope. When they broke apart, both breathing hard, Sophia's voice cut through the tension. About time. I thought you two would dance around each other forever. They turned to find her awake, smiling weakly from the bed. How long have you been listening? Maya asked, face flushing. Long enough to know you're both idiots. Sophia coughed, but it was lighter than before. Maya, you should take the money. Save yourself. Not happening. I'm dying anyway. My numbers might be improving, but we both know it's temporary. The cancer always wins eventually. Not this time. You can't know that. No, but I can fight like it's true. That's all any of us can do. Sophia's eyes filled with tears. You really think you can save me? I think we have a chance, and sometimes that's enough. Damian's phone buzzed. He looked at the screen, face draining of color. What is it? Maya asked. He showed her. A news article. Cross Pharmaceuticals CEO Damian Cross. Under investigation for medical fraud, kidnapping. Below it, a photo. Damian carrying Sophia from Maya's apartment. The headline read, Desperate billionaire endangers sister's life with illegal treatment. Victoria leaked it, Damian said, voice hollow. She's destroying me publicly, making sure even if we save Sophia, I'll never recover. So we prove her wrong. We save Sophia, show the world the treatment works, and turn this story around. In 24 hours, the treatment needs at least another week to stabilize. Then we make it work in 24 hours. We push harder, monitor closer, take risks we normally wouldn't. That could kill her. Staying here definitely will. Once the FBI arrives, they'll stop treatment. Put her in a hospital, standard protocols. She dies slowly instead of fighting. Sophia spoke up, voice steady despite her weakness. Do it. Push the treatment. I'd rather die fighting than live as Victoria's proof that experimental medicine doesn't work. Soph, Damian, I've been dying for 2 years. Slowly. Painfully. Watching hope drain from your eyes every day. This treatment, this crazy, desperate attempt, it's the first time I've felt alive in months. She looked at Maya. Push it. Whatever it takes, Maya calculated rapidly. Higher doses. Frequent monitoring. It was reckless. Dangerous. Everything her training said not to do. But playing it safe meant certain death. Okay, she said. We accelerate. But you need to understand, Sophia. This could trigger another seizure. Could cause organ failure. Could kill you in ways that are painful and terrifying. Worse than cancer. Maybe. Then let's find out. As Maya prepared the increased dosage, as Damian held his sister's hand, something shifted in the house. A sound, subtle, wrong. Did you hear that? Maya whispered. Damian moved to the window. His entire body went rigid. They're here. Early. Victoria must have called them immediately after the lawyer left. FBI? Worse, private security. She's not waiting for legal channels. Footsteps on the porch. Multiple people. The door handle rattled. We need to barricade, Damian started. The door exploded inward. 6 men in tactical gear. And behind them, Victoria, her smile triumphant. Damian Cross, you're coming with us. Dr. Rodriguez, step away from the patient. You can't do this, Damian said. We have rights. You gave up your rights when you kidnapped your sister and endangered her life. We're here to bring her somewhere safe, somewhere she can die with dignity instead of being a lab rat for a desperate doctor playing God. Maya stood between them and Sophia. Touch her and you'll what? Fight 6 armed men, please. You're smart, Dr. Rodriguez. Smart enough to know when you've lost. One of the men grabbed Damian, forcing him to his knees. Another moved toward Sophia's bed. Wait, Sophia said, her voice cutting through the chaos. I'll go. Peacefully. Just don't hurt them. Sophia, no. Damian struggled against his restraints. It's okay, big brother. You tried. You fought. That's more than anyone else ever did for me. She looked at Maya. Thank you. For giving me hope, even if just for a little while. The men disconnected her IVs, lifted her from the bed. Sophia gasped in pain, but didn't cry out. Victoria moved close to Damian, whispered something in his ear that made him go pale. What did she say? Maya demanded. Damian looked at her, and in his eyes, she saw devastation. Complete. Total. The kind that shatters souls. She said the lawyer who came to you, that was her contingency plan. But her real plan? She's been paying off your mother's doctors, bribing them to delay treatment, making her sicker. She's been using your mother as leverage for months, waiting for the right moment to break you. Maya's world tilted. What? Your mother could have been in remission by now. But Victoria paid them to keep her sick, to keep you desperate, so when she needed you gone, she'd have ammunition. The betrayal was a knife to the chest. Her mother, suffering, dying, because Maya had gotten involved with Damian Cross. Where is she? Maya's voice was deadly calm. My mother. Where is she? Victoria smiled. St. Mary's Hospital, room 304. Or at least she was. Her condition took a turn this morning. Quite tragic. The doctors say she has maybe 12 hours left. The room spun. Maya grabbed the table for support. You killed her. You murdered my mother to get to me. I simply removed an obstacle. You should have taken the money when it was offered. Now you get nothing. No money, no career, no mother, and no self-righteous satisfaction of having saved Sophia. Because we both know she's dead within a week. Rage flooded Maya's system. White-hot, blinding. She lunged for Victoria. The security guards grabbed her, held her back. Victoria laughed. Goodbye, Dr. Rodriguez. Goodbye, Damian. Enjoy watching everything you love turn to ash. They took Sophia, took Damian, left Maya alone in the safe house with the shattered remains of hope. She collapsed to the floor, the monitors still beeping with ghost rhythms, and screamed. The sacrifice Maya drove through the night like a woman possessed. The hospital. Her mother. 12 hours, maybe less. She burst through the doors of St. Mary's, still covered in the evidence of their failed rebellion. Room 304, her mother's room. She ran. Her mother lay in bed, skin paper thin, breathing shallow. The machines beeped their countdown to death. "Mama," Maya whispered, taking her hand. Her mother's eyes fluttered open. "Mija, you came." "Of course I came. I'm so sorry. This is my fault. All of it. No." Her mother's grip was surprisingly strong. "You tried to save someone. That's never wrong. But they hurt you. Made you sicker. Because of me. And you would have let them? Let that girl die? Just to save me?" Her mother's eyes held fierce pride. "That's not who I raised. I raised a fighter. Someone who doesn't back down when things get hard. I don't know how to fight this, Mama. I don't know how to save everyone." "Then save who you can. The girl, Sophia. She still needs you. She's with them now. Victoria will make sure she gets standard treatment. Nothing experimental. She'll die within weeks." Her mother coughed, the sound wet and final. "Then you don't have weeks. You have now. This moment. Use it. I can't leave you. You can. And you will. Because that's what love is, Mija. Choosing the harder path. The one that hurts. The one that matters." She pressed something into Maya's hand. A key. My safety deposit box. Everything I have left. It's not much. Maybe 30,000. But it's enough to run. To finish what you started. Mama, no. Let me do this. Let me help save a life. Even if I can't save my own. Her mother's smile was beautiful and breaking. "You've carried me long enough, baby. Time to let me go. I'm not ready. No one ever is. But you're strong. Stronger than you know. Promise me you'll finish this. Promise me you'll save that girl." Maya's tears fell like rain. "I promise. Then go. Before they find you here. Before they take this chance away." Maya kissed her mother's forehead, breathing in the scent of her one last time. Lavender and strength and unconditional love. "I love you, Mama. I love you too, Mija. Now go be the hero I always knew you were." Maya left. Each step away from her mother felt like dying. But she kept walking. Because that's what her mother had taught her. You keep moving forward, even when your heart is breaking. The safety deposit box held exactly what her mother promised. $30,000 in cash. And a letter. Maya's hands shook as she read it. "My dearest Maya, if you're reading this, I'm gone. And you're standing at a crossroads. Grief wants to pull you backward. Into safety. Into giving up. Don't let it. The world needs doctors who fight. Who refuse to accept defeat. Who love people enough to take impossible risks. That's you, baby. That's always been you. Save the girl. Honor your brother. Honor me. But most importantly, honor yourself. You are enough. You always were. Love, Mama." Maya folded the letter carefully, tucked it against her heart. Then she made a call. Dr. Chen speaking. "This is Dr. Maya Rodriguez. I need your help with an extraction." 30 minutes later, she met Dr. Helena Manning in a parking garage. The same Dr. Manning from Cross Medical Foundation, the one who'd looked at Maya with suspicion that first day. "Why are you helping me?" Maya asked. Helena's expression was grim. "Because I've been where you are. Desperate, brilliant, crushed by people who fear change. Victoria Cross killed my research 10 years ago, destroyed my career because I threatened her control." She handed Maya a keycard. "Sophia's being held at Cross Private Hospital. 3rd floor, room 312, I can get you in. But after that, you're on your own." "Why risk it?" "Because watching Victoria win again makes me complicit. And I'm tired of being complicit in my own defeat." The hospital was fortress-like. But Helena's keycard opened doors that should have stayed locked. Maya moved through corridors like a ghost, avoiding security cameras, staying in blind spots. Room 312. Sophia lay in bed, hooked to machines that beeped their lies. Her vitals were dropping. They'd stopped the experimental treatment, returned her to standard protocols that weren't working. "Maya?" Sophia's voice was weak. "How did you—" "Shh, we're leaving. I can't. They have guards. Damian's locked up somewhere. Victoria's won. No, she's won when we give up. We're not giving up. Maya disconnected the IVs, grabbed emergency supplies. Her hands moved with practiced efficiency, muscle memory taking over. Where are we going? Somewhere they won't find us. Somewhere we can finish this. Your mother is why I'm doing this. She made me promise to save who I can. That's you, Sophia. You're who I can save. Alarms shrieked. Someone had noticed the disconnected monitors. Can you walk? I can try. They moved through the hallways, Sophia leaning heavily on Maya. Every step was agony. But they kept moving. Security guards rounded the corner. Stop, stay where you are. Maya pushed through a door marked stairs. They climbed. Up, away. Sophia gasping with effort. Leave me, Sophia wheezed. Save yourself. Not happening. We fight together or not at all. They burst onto the roof. Helicopter pad. Empty except for one helicopter, and standing beside it, Damian Cross. You came, he said, and his voice broke with relief. How did you— Helena? She called me. Told me where to find you. He moved to his sister, gathered her in his arms. I'm getting you both out of here. You can't fly a helicopter. No, but I know someone who can. Dr. Chen emerged from the helicopter. The same lawyer who'd offered Maya the bribe. Except now he wore a pilot's uniform. You, Maya stared, former Air Force, current double agent. Victoria hired me to break you, but I've been feeding information to Damian for months. She never suspected her own lawyer. Why help us? Because my daughter died from leukemia 3 years ago. Standard treatments. No experimental options available. If your research had been approved, then she might have lived. His eyes were hard. I won't let Victoria kill another child to protect profit margins. Doors burst open. Security flooded the roof. And behind them, Victoria! You can't run forever! She shouted over the helicopter blades. I own this city. These hospitals. These people. You have nowhere left to hide. Damian helped Sophia into the helicopter. Turned to Maya. Get in. What about you? I'm staying. Turning myself in. Buying you time to finish the treatment. No, we leave together or not at all. Maya, listen to me. Victoria wants me. She wants to destroy me publicly. Make an example. If I surrender, she'll focus on me. Give you space to save Sophia. To publish your research. To matter, you'll go to prison. Probably. But my sister will live. And your research will save others. That's enough. It's not enough. I won't let you sacrifice yourself. You don't have a choice. He cupped her face. Kissed her hard. Finish this, save her. Then expose Victoria for what she is. Promise me. Damian, promise me. Maya's vision blurred with tears. I promise. He turned to the approaching security. Raised his hands in surrender. I'm Damian Cross. I'm responsible for everything. Dr. Rodriguez was coerced. She's innocent. Get in the helicopter, Chen shouted. Maya climbed in beside Sophia. The blades roared to life. As they lifted off, Maya watched Damian kneel on the roof. Watched Victoria's triumphant smile. Watched the man who'd burned his empire for love disappear into custody. He'll be okay, Sophia whispered. My brother's a survivor. So are you. And we're going to prove it. They flew to a remote clinic in upstate New York. Dr. Chen had arranged everything. Equipment, privacy, time. For 2 weeks, Maya worked around the clock, adjusting dosages, monitoring vitals, fighting when Sophia's body tried to give up, crying when she thought of her mother, of Damian, of everyone who'd sacrificed so she could be here. On day 14, Sophia's cancer markers hit normal range. On day 20, her white blood cell count stabilized. On day 30, Maya ran the final tests, then ran them again. And again. What is it? Sophia asked, seeing Maya's expression. It worked. The treatment worked. You're in remission, Sophia stared. I'm what? In remission. The cancer's undetectable. Your body's producing healthy cells. You're going to live, Sophia. You're going to live. They held each other and cried. For joy, for grief, for everyone they'd lost along the way. What now? Sophia asked. Now we publish. Show the world what we've done. Expose Victoria. Free your brother. The research paper hit medical journals like a bomb. Successful experimental stem cell treatment in advanced leukemia. A case study. The media exploded. Billionaire's sister saved by illegal treatment. Within 48 hours, the FDA fast-tracked emergency approval. Within a week, 3 major hospitals requested trials. Victoria's empire crumbled. The board removed her. Federal investigators found evidence of fraud, bribery, medical malpractice. She was arrested on national television. Damian was released after 37 days in custody. All charges dropped. Maya stood outside the courthouse, waiting. When he emerged, blinking in the sunlight, she was there. "You did it," he said. "You saved her. Saved everyone. We did it, together. Your mother passed 2 days after we left, peacefully, with nurses who told her about Sophia. About the treatment working. She died knowing her sacrifice mattered. I'm so sorry." "Me too. But she'd be proud. Of what we did. Who we became." Damian pulled her close. "What happens now? To us, I don't know. We're both broken. Both carrying ghosts. Both learning how to live with what we've done. Sounds terrifying? It is. But maybe we can be terrified together. Is that what you want?" Maya thought of her mother's letter. Of her brother's memory. Of the girl they'd saved. And the empire they'd burned. And the impossible, beautiful, broken thing they'd built from ashes. "Yes, that's exactly what I want." He kissed her. Not desperate this time, not driven by fear or urgency, just 2 scarred people choosing to try, choosing hope over safety, love over certainty. Sophia emerged from the courthouse, healthy and alive and laughing. She saw them and smiled. "About time you 2 figured it out." They stood together in the sunlight. 3 people who'd lost everything and found something better, something real, not a fairy tale ending, just an honest one. They'd carry their ghosts forever. Marcus, Carlos, Maya's mother, the weight of choices that couldn't be undone, but they'd carry them together. And sometimes, that's enough. Sometimes, that's everything. The end.